It is my birthday. I'm wearing my blazer. I've got my iPad. It is time for business. It's business time. Any Flight of the Conchord fans? So it turns out that it has been 5 years since I made a 5-year plan. So we know what that means. The blazer is on. I wanted to celebrate this occasion. I survived 5 years. I made it out of my 5-year plan alive. I want to look back on that 5-year plan and see how I did. Not in like a pass-fail kind of way, because I am a true believer in plans and goals and things like that being very flexible, because you do not know what life is going to throw at you. I made this 5-year plan in February 2020. So a lot has changed in the world. Yes, COVID was around in February 2020, but in the UK, we had not gone into lockdown yet. And so I could not have predicted. And then equally, I could not have predicted that I have PCOS. And it took us longer than I would have liked to conceive our first child, and now our second. So it's not a plan. As my husband says, plans never survive first contact with the enemy. The enemy being the outside world. It's not the enemy though, but it's a good thing to remember. Plans never survive first contact. Or at least you should plan for your plan to never survive first contact. Anyway, so the way that I did my 5-year plan back then was thinking more about what do I want my life and my day-to-day to look like in 5 years' time. And then I worked backwards from there to help me figure out what my present goals and direction should be. And that way of doing things, I believe, works very well. And so we're going to look over my last 5-year plan. And you know what, guys? The blazer is on and I am in the mood to make another for in the future of when I'm going to be 38 years old. 2030. What is the world going to be like in 2030, honestly? Who the fuck knows? Hopefully Donald Trump is gone and the rest of his cronies. She says that like there is like quite a high chance that he could be dead by 2030. Anyway, as I mentioned, today is my birthday, February the 19th. She's a Pisces sun apparently, but according to some other thing, I'm also an Aquarius. Before we get into looking at my past 5-year plan and my future 5-year plan, I would like to thank this video's sponsor, Squarespace, because business blazer on, that means we take in business spons. Why do I feel like a giddy child? This is what happens around my birthday. So whether you are just starting out in the freelance world or you are a small business owner, Squarespace makes it super easy for you to create your own beautiful website, engage your audience, and sell anything from physical and digital products to courses and even your time, all in one place and all on your terms. Squarespace has loads of beautiful and professional website templates. You just pick the one that is right for you and you can customize it with your own branding and content and assets. And you can add all sorts of different features to meet your specific needs, and you can truly make any template do whatever it is that you want. And it all works seamlessly across different devices. Squarespace's Fluid Engine website design system means that it is so intuitive and seamless and easy to design a beautiful website for yourself, even if you have no website experience, just like me. Even after all of these years, thank you Squarespace for allowing me to have professional looking websites throughout my career, even though I am not a website designer. But Fluid Engine allows you to drag and drop things and just get really creative in designing your own website. And Squarespace's new design intelligence empowers anyone to create their own beautiful and personalized website tailored to your needs using AI technology. And if your business has an online store, then Squarespace Payments makes it super easy to manage your payments. Onboarding is really fast and simple, and there are lots of different options for your customers with how to pay. If you have a service-based business with lots of different clients, then Squarespace Invoicing can help manage your workflows, keep track of invoices, and seamlessly manage your service-based business. So if you're in the market for a new website, then head to squarespace.com to start your free trial. And then when you are ready to launch it into the world, you can go to squarespace.com/morehannah to get 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Now, back to the other business of my 5-year plan. So my previous 5-year plan, the video that I made about it was uploaded on the 20th of February, 2020, pre-lockdowns and pre-motherhood. And I started out with this table listing the different years and how old I would be, and then some key things in here. The main things that changed and just very much like did not go to plan is this big 30th birthday celebration. No. I was 7 months pregnant and it was the tail end of lockdowns and I was very anxious about being around lots of people. So it was a small 30th birthday celebration. Again, honeymoon, girls' holiday in 2020 and 2021. No, did not happen. And then we had in 2023, move ? And 2024, mank, as in Manchester ? Yeah, I made lots of videos about the move that didn't happen. You can thank Liz Truss for that one. That's the other thing you can't predict, is actually you can probably predict politicians fucking things up. Should have seen it coming. I should have seen it coming. And then the other thing looking at this that actually like makes me feel a bit sad is the try for a baby / have baby in 2021. I got pregnant in 2021 and then gave birth in 2022, but then I've got 2023 as do baby thing again. Yeah, we started trying at the beginning of 2024 and I'm still not pregnant. It is very much 2025 now. So fun. And then this I find interesting is that come 2024, apparently this was a like, we will deal with this after we've had children kind of goal, which is close friends, regular social plans where I live, and keep in touch with others. So the friendship thing and it being like where I live and being local to me, it was on the mind 5 years ago, but clearly I didn't feel like I needed it then because in my head, I'd put it as a like in the future thing. I was like, we'll worry about this later. And then my actual 5-year plan with these different categories of like career, personal, financial, home, family, and fun were my categories back then. And then I wrote down what I would like in 5 years' time. And we can ignore the first steps. We don't need to worry about the first steps right now, but we're gonna go through actually like in 5 years, what I pictured myself doing. So in 5 years' time in my career, I wanted to be less reliant on London. I feel like lockdowns did that. I am obviously still in London, but kind of for other reasons, but I do feel like my career is less reliant on London than it was 5 years ago. But I don't think I did anything to make that happen. I wanted a good source of passive income. This was when I was obsessed with like girl bossing my way to a 4-hour work week and passive income. Yeah, I mean, AdSense on the YouTube channel, is that really passive? I am very active. And then Patreon, again, like how passive is that? This isn't a massive goal for me anymore. I wanted my career to be sustainable without working 50-hour weeks. Yeah, that would be why I earned a lot more money back then. I wouldn't say I've achieved this because yes, I am definitely not working 50-hour weeks anymore. I've pretty much cut that in half, but the income has suffered as well. So is it sustainable? Maybe there's a happy medium, but I don't want it. I don't know. I wanted to still be flexible and working for myself. Tick. I wanted to have my own brand business, self-sustaining outside of Hannah Witton, more traditional business owner. So this again was all part of, I think, what I'd absorbed from a lot of the messaging around me of like, if you're a content creator, if you're a YouTuber, and if you want to create a sustainable business, if you want to have longevity and a retirement plan, you need to have a separate business. Like you need to be a Grace Beverly with your Tala and your Shreddy, or you need, I don't know, you need to have some sort of brand or some sort of product that is separate to you that can be run as a separate business. And I definitely like tried at one point to like figure out like what on earth would that be? The most obvious thing was sex toys at the time, but I wasn't particularly interested in doing that myself. Needless to say, that hasn't happened and it's definitely not a goal anymore. I said I would want one full-time employee. Again, this was all part of the growth and scale dream. So no, definitely couldn't afford at this point either. I wanted a separate office. That is funny because I achieved that goal and then since left that office and moved back to working from home. So we came full circle. Love that. I wanted to do some RSE training, relationships and sex education, and I did that. I am a certified sex educator. Look at me. Look at her. And then I had this goal about having like a B2B business to business behind the scenes thing going on. And I just want to play for you what it is that Hannah 5 years ago said. I think I would like to get to a point where a lot of the work that I do is around like the creator influencer industry, maybe consulting, maybe like these creator table talks events that I'm running, working with other creators and helping other creators. Isn't that cool? I did not really fathom that that was something I was thinking about kind of that clearly back then. But obviously I had done the creator table talks events, which then, because COVID, I just didn't continue, but maybe again this year. But that is really interesting that 5 years ago, there was this seed in my head of what has now become what I'm trying to build now. Interesting. Because that was not my main focus. And if anything, when lockdown happened, it like stopped because I stopped the creator table talks thing. So I kind of was like, nope. And now here we are again. Anyway, interesting. And then in personal, I had learning and growing in activism, regular contributions to charities, personal training, and butthole surgery. I don't think I really understood what to put in this personal category. I've definitely changed around my categories for this year. But yes, still work in progress, of course. And then like, yes, also work in progress. Personal training, never did. Butthole surgery, still on the cards for the future. I just need to complete my family first. So hurry up, second child. Ready when you are. Then in financial, in 5 years' time, I wanted to have a stocks and shares ISA. She did that. I want to be putting more in my pension. I'm still contributing to my pension. I don't think I've increased those contributions. I wanted to be able to afford a family. Done. I want a retirement plan. No, I don't think I've got one of those yet. And I wanted a will. We did that. Dan and I did our wills after Rowan was born. So most of the financial stuff feels in order. And then in home, move out of London, question mark. Manchester, question mark. Yeah, neither of those things happened, obviously. And even when we were planning on moving, we were planning on staying in London. Honestly, it's all very up in the air now. The Manchester thing is still a question mark though. Still like on the cards. And then I wrote 4-5 bedroom house. I was really dreaming big. Right now I'm like, if we could afford a 3-bed terrace round here, dream. And then this bit stings quite a bit. But in 5 years' time, my family, I wanted 2 kids. Sorry, past Hannah, your body is not cooperating on that front. Still happy and in a relationship with Dan, tick. Done, still doing, in progress. Emotionally and financially support family, yes. And then travel, trips, activities with family. We have done summer holidays with Rowan, me and Dan and Rowan and my parents as well. So I'm like, other than one child being missing, good. Fun, girls' hall. Yeah, that never happened because COVID. Dinner parties / board games nights with Dan. I feel like we've gotten a bit better at this. We have one couple friend who every so often we'll have them over. They've got a kid similar age to Rowan and we'll do a half sleepover where the kids will play, we'll have dinner, we'll put them to bed and then we'll stay up and eat and play board games and then around midnight they'll leave and drive home and take their child with as well, of course. So that's fun. Definitely want to do more. And then holidays again with Dan and fam. And then theatre / shows, always been a priority for me. And I actually think post lockdowns and post baby, like going to the theatre and seeing like West End shows has been like one of the things that's like up there in terms of my priorities of like, how do I want to spend my child-free time at the theatre? And then I also just wanted to play you this clip from that video because I thought this was kind of funny. Or Dan's career can go really well and I can just live off him. That would be great. And I just said that as such an off comment. At that time, I was earning way more than Dan. Now Dan is earning way more than me. But this is what a partnership is about. You like change and you both contribute and then who knows what's going to happen in the future. But yeah, that random off comment has like, I mean, it's not come true. I'm not living off him. Obviously, I still work and I still earn money. But the kind of like, the balance has tipped slightly. So then actually in April 2023, I made a video about scrapping my 5-year plan because this was like post lockdowns. My baby was almost a year old. And it was funny looking back on that video because I either scrapped a lot of my goals or they became irrelevant, but then actually like waiting this further 2 years to reflect on it again, actually some of the things that Hannah thought were irrelevant actually like kind of became true. It's very strange. And then also at that time, I was not in the brain space for creating a new 5-year plan, but I really feel like I am now. Hence the business blazer. So the reasons why I want to do another 5-year plan now is obviously not just because my last 5-year plan has like come to an end and I want to do it again, but I'm having a bit of a wobbly career moment, as you will have seen from last week's video where I was crying alone in a park in Zurich. So that's where we're at. But I do still find it very useful to look really far ahead and then use that to try and give myself some direction now, today, please. And then I was thinking about all of this, and I knew that I wanted to make this video as well when I had a coaching session myself, and my coach asked the okay, where do you want to see yourself in 5 years' time question? And I was like, okay, this is great. I need to think about this. And so that was very, very useful. And also I kind of took it as a sign of like, yes, we are going to be making a new 5-year plan. We're doing this. Let's go. But again, remember, a flexible plan, not a plan. Plans do not survive first contact with the enemy. And then also, for some reason, I wanted to handwrite it, but on my iPad, hence this situation. The 5-year plan, we have new categories. The categories are career, personal development, family and friends, finances, home, fun, health, and wellness. Those are our categories, and we're gonna start. So I've got my column for in 5 years' time, and then the next column is what are my next steps to get there. So here we go. Okay. So in 5 years' time, I want to still be making YouTube videos. I'm feeling good about this channel. I like making videos here. I can't see myself not doing that in 5 years' time. Again, unless something like really dramatic happens. I could not have predicted in the 2020 5-year plan that I would have quit sex ed. Your girl was like, I want to do sex ed training. I want to do this and this. So yeah, anyway, in 5 years' time, I want to be recognized as the go-to person for established content creators. And this is in terms of my consulting and coaching side of the business. I don't really know what that looks like being the go-to person for what, but I want to be the person that and the name that people think of and say if a creator is like, oh, I just need to figure out like XYZ, or I'm like struggling with this, and then someone goes, oh, you need to talk to Hannah. That's what I want. In 5 years' time, I want to be bringing creators together. So not just working one-on-one with creators, but trying to help create a bit more of that community and connection between people. And then also in 5 years' time, I want to still not be full time. That became very clear to me of just like, yeah, actually, I really love the hours that I work. I don't want that to change. So next steps, coaching training. I want to do that this year. I'm doing a business course. I've not started it yet, but by the time you're watching this, I will have started it. Business Blazer on. So with that, I'm hoping to figure out really narrow down my value proposition, my services, my products, and my pricing, and all of that kind of stuff. IRL events. Do I bring back creator table talks ? This is something that I feel like I'll hopefully get some answers to in the business course as well. Okay, so that's my career stuff. Then in personal development. In 5 years' time, I want to be learning German. I put that in there as a pie in the sky goal because I am technically German. I have a German passport. I got my citizenship a few years ago and I started learning German just through the apps, and then I got pregnant and it just I find it hard to be motivated to learn another language if I don't have a reason to be in that country. So part of me was hoping that Dan would get a job in Berlin and then I'll be like, all right, let's learn German, let's fucking go. That's not happened, but be learning German, we'll see. I want to be knitting and sewing clothes in 5 years. I feel like I've got enough friends and resources that are really on it with that at the moment, that when I'm ready, I'll be able to go. I've put facilitator training because I think if I want to be bringing creators together and I want to be doing events and workshops kind of thing, I could get some facilitator training. I did do some a few years ago, but actually I can't remember most of it. Maybe that should go in the career one. Anyway, it still feels a bit more like personal development. I don't know why in my brain. And then also I've put in volunteering at bookshop. My local bookshop that I go to buy books from. I'm part of the book club and a co-op member of the bookshop as well. They are run and staffed by volunteers. So I want to be in a position to be able to do that. And actually the only thing out of all of these that I've written next steps for, because all of the others just feel a lot further in the future and not this year, is Fridays at bookshop from September ? And I say September because that will be when Rowan starts preschool nursery. And so suddenly I won't be looking after him on Fridays anymore. So maybe I could offer up some of that time to the bookshop. Obviously, this plan would entirely change if I did get pregnant and had a newborn baby. Then that would have to be pushed back a year or 3. And then family and friends. We've got Dan, love heart, still very much committed to this relationship. I've written 2 kids. Not 2 more kids, just 1 more. That's all I'm asking for. And then also in 5 years' time, village/community. I've talked about that a lot. This is one of my goals. So next step, fertility help. We have started the process of getting private help for fertility and trying to conceive this time around. We'll see how that goes. Continue doing our coffee mornings, which is like a once a month. We just gather local friends, parents, kids, and they come round here for a morning once a month, and it's really lovely. And it's just like a casual, open house, low pressure hang that people know is just in the diary and they can come if they're free. Just keep doing those. We're gonna keep doing them. And then I've also just written, put self out there. I'm just gonna keep putting myself out there in terms of like making plans, doing things, connecting with people, and trying to create that village, that community. Then we have finances. And here in 5 years' time, I've written that I want to be over the motherhood dip and have a healthy business. My finances dipped after having Rowan with the business. It's just very hard being someone who is self-employed and a parent, because it's like, which one of these projects do I focus on? Because you focus on one and the other suffers. And so you don't want your child to suffer, but you also don't want your business to suffer. Anyway, so I'm hoping that, we have another kid soon, and then I do the business suffering again, maybe have another little dip. But then I'm really, really hoping that in 5 years' time, I'm over that dip and I am building back up again. I'm like building back up. Next steps in terms of finances is obviously financing fertility treatment, survive financially in terms of the business is what I kind of mean there. And then I've also kind of put YouTube and Patreon focus, because those are the 2 areas of my business that make the most money, especially when it comes to like Patreon as being like a sustainable monthly income, and then YouTube, the AdSense, and then also brand deals that I do on this channel. And so those are the things that like I can do and I have control over. And part of me is like, in the meantime, do I just focus on these things to survive? Do I double down on these? I don't know. But then also I want to build up the other part of the business, which is also part of my goals. Anyway, I don't know. Actually, was this helpful or am I still confused? Anyway, home. I want to be settled in our forever location in 5 years' time. Where is that forever location? TBC. And I want a 4-bedroom house with a garden, or a 3-bedroom house that we are planning to convert and get an extra room. Who knows? So next steps are decide where to live. I've also put think about jobs. This is more for Dan, but it's like, something that we together as a family, as a couple, will discuss, because one of the main things tying us to London is my husband's job. In the meantime, we're going to continue doing up the flat because we love living here, and there are still some spaces that we want to improve, like the balcony and the hallway. One of the options that we do have is just to continue living here. So we want to continue to do up the flat in a way that we like. And then I've just put money ? Next steps, money, just because ultimately the options that will be available to us will highly depend on our financial circumstances and also the housing market. Blah. Okay, then in fun, we have dinner parties, games nights, theatre trips, book clubs, holidays, and tennis. These are all the things, I put these in here as like, these are just the things that like bring me joy in terms of my like extracurricular leisure activities and like social as well. And I put all of these in like in 5 years' time, I want to be doing all of these things. And those are the next steps. And actually these are all things that I'm currently doing. Maybe I'll get other hobbies, but who knows? But right now, like I really love the mix that I do have. So already doing great there. Obviously that will change if and when baby 2 comes along, but that's fine because then in 5 years' time, when coming out the other side, I'll hopefully be doing some of these things again. And then in health and wellness, again, coming out the other side, this 5-year plan, I've written coming out the trenches, because if I do have another baby soon, then in 5 years' time from now, will hopefully be kind of like where I'm at now, where I'm just feeling like I'm getting out of the early motherhood, like the trenches, basically. Like I still feel like with an almost 3-year-old, we're kind of still in the trenches, but definitely like not as much. We'll be like coming out of the trenches and be like, all right, kids are going to school. Like, oh my God, there's like some semblance of freedom. And then also in 5 years' time, I've put butthole surgery. I don't actually know when that'll happen. That will be conversations with my doctors to have, but those conversations will not be happening until after I've had a second child, or if, and please, no, I have a colonoscopy and they find precancerous cells and they just have to take my butthole out there and then I can't have another child. Hence why next steps is baby number 2 in terms of health and wellness, which sounds weird, but so much of my health and wellness stuff is tied to having another baby and then being able to be like, right, we've done that, now I can live and get my butthole surgery sorted out. So there we have it. That is my new 5-year plan that is going to take us to 2030 when I will be 38 years old. So one of my plans for this YouTube channel this year that came out of that coaching session that I did is to try and create little wins for myself. And this is just because of that directionless, like wobbly career moment that I've been having, and how with trying to conceive, it's just hard to look really far ahead and make big plans. And so what I realized is that what I need is little wins. I need like projects that have a beginning, a middle, and end that I can be like, and we did that. That is a win, and I can like have that sense of achievement and accomplishment. And so I want to start a new series on this channel that's going to be called Little Wins, and it's going to be all about celebrating those little wins kind of like as we go. It might be like a bit vlog style, or it might just be videos like this where I'm sat here, but look out for those videos. I hope it's going to be a kind of like small business, working mum, work-life balance, business diary kind of thing, but with the focus on recognizing those little wins that you have along the way. And then also trying to kind of manufacture and create projects for myself so I can give myself a little like, yeah, I did a thing. Because I really don't want to get to the end of this year, career-wise, being like, what the fuck have I even achieved this year? That's what I don't want. So that's why we're doing little wins, because I can manage that. But thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm a business blazer. It is my birthday, as I mentioned, 33 years old today. All I ask for my birthday is that you subscribe and become a patron. I'm kidding, but I'm not kidding. But thank you genuinely so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Hope you enjoyed my blazer, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.